Mr. Tripod. Man, I love the saying, never trust a skinny chef. I don't know how you stay in shape because the stuff you're making smells so good.
Well, it's healthy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's if you eat whole foods
Yeah.
and you stay away from like wheat and sugar and dairy, you're going to naturally lose weight. No one forgot when you gave me. I want you to get me juggling.
We need to do that in some mission.
Could be a good blooper. I like bloopers.
Alright, we are recording there. We're recording there. Good thing
Right.
of beauty. Yazzer, yazzer.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a bunch of fruit. Pineapple. So cut the top off. A lot of times chefs will save the top. So you can cut it in half, soak it in ice water, and it's a great garnish on a fruit platter. So we'll save that. Then cut the bottom off. Always have yourself a bowl that you can collect everything so you can reduce your mess. Then what you're going to do is your knife at an angle, you're going to shave around the skin and rotate it as you go. Like that. I'm just getting my recording going. And you got to be deep enough to where you get these little eyes in the pineapple off, or it's not pleasant. So like notice like when I just go really thin, you can see those eyes. You got to go a little bit low enough to get that. And sometimes if there's any damaged part on the pineapple, like there's a little bit of bruise there, I'll just cut that part out. And then go through just at the last second. Then all this goes in the bowl. What's interesting about this, you can make a tea out of this or like a pineapple water. You can also marinate chicken, pork, and it'll naturally tenderize it because there's an enzyme in pineapple that'll break down meat. So then you cut it in half like that. There's the core. So you can't eat the core. I mean, you can suck on it, give it to your kids, dogs. Makes a good pineapple popsicle. Right, it's kind of rough. Kind of chewy, but it has flavor. So cut the core out, and I like to do it at an angle like that. Okay, and then I'll show you one. So when I do fruit, I'll cut up a bunch of fruit for my family. We'll reserve these because I might slice it a little bit differently. And then to slice this, actually, here's a trick. You use one more pineapple packed on like this, and the reason for it is if you start slicing, it'll move on you, and so this holds it together. And so then I grab it like this, and then I start slicing. And this just holds it in place, and then I can even go right to this one, pushed up against here, so it holds it in place. Notice I'm using my fingers and angle. Then what I like to do is try one. Then just push it down like that, and that's what's called a cheval. And then this can go right onto a fruit platter like that. And we'll put it right over here. You know, if Chef Steve was here, he'd even make it even prettier. He does some really cool stuff with pineapple. Okay, next we'll do the cantaloupe. So things are starting to be in season. So same thing, like all the cantaloupe, pineapple, watermelon, you start by cutting the top and the bottom off. And the main reason too is it's easier, but also you want something to not roll around on you. So it's very stabilized like this. So then same thing, go around. Really tuck it in on that last side. So you can do this with the honeydew too. Then I usually flip it to see what I did, and then if there's a little bit that needs to be shaved off, you can do that, right? Because you don't want any of that green part on it. All that goes in my bowl, and then we're gonna cut it in half. Then you need to get yourself a spoon. Everybody's probably cut cantaloupe. Then I use a spoon to scrape out the seeds into my bowl so it's not messy. Just make sure you get it all, just like that. Get the other one. I'll leave this one whole for the garnish. Then what I like to do is, what's funny is some of the techniques I'm showing you, I remember I was trying out for this job. This corporate chef, he got me a fruit basket, and he's like, make me a fruit platter, and I did. And then he came around the corner with his, and I said, wow. And he said, wow, right? And he said, yeah, I can sell yours at like the local grocery store for like $10.99. I can sell mine at a wedding for about $100. And so then he showed me the different techniques. So like that pineapple technique I showed you is one of them. So what you want to do is you could slice it just like this, right? I'll just show you so you can see. So as I'm slicing like this, notice the cantaloupe's like falling down. It's not all arranged, right? It looks decent, but then you got this piece here, so it's a little bit lackluster, right? It's all wonky, right? So we're gonna hide that over there. Now, how do you make it so that it's even? Well, you cut at a bias like the pineapple here. This goes in your diced fruit, right? So that can go as your diced fruit. Now you can really get some amazingly short, thin slices with this cantaloupe. And the reason you put another piece up there is that that's where it holds that piece together. Just like that. And then you can do something cool too, and I should have done it at the beginning. But I'll show you right now. Before I started cutting, you could take it like this and just cut out a little section of it. Okay, then as I push it down, right, then I can actually like shape it. So you can see, you get this unique little like look of the cantaloupe. So that looks just...
Are your glasses on showing that? Because I'm not getting a good angle here. Show that again.
So you can see the angle that you can shape this into something really like artistic, right? So you can push the cantaloupe and kind of shape it into a nice pretty look, right? And you can see, look at that compared to what I just showed you, right? It even like sticks together. So we'll put that there. Then I'm gonna empty my garbage here. See how easy that is to store that? Now we've got some more fruit we're gonna do. Let's do this is a papaya. I love papaya. So what you need is a peeler, which I think is in the dishwasher. Let's see. Real. Multitasking. Can't find my peeler, so I'm gonna show you a different technique. So if you don't have your peeler, do the same thing. Top, bottom. If you had a peeler, peel right here, and then the skin comes off really easy. But sometimes if I don't have it, I'm gonna do the same technique. But this, you can get real close. You know, you don't wanna waste any of this papaya. I love the taste of papaya. One of my favorite papayas was memories of going to Hawaii, and we would get the strawberry papaya. They grow there year round, and they're pink in color, and they literally have like this fragrance of strawberry mixed with tropical fruit. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so I did a fairly good job. So we'll just shave it. All this goes into our vegetable bin or a fruit bin at this point. Scrape it off, then in half, and then these seeds are interesting. So I learned from this other chef that you can actually take these seeds and dry them out, and you can make pepper with them. They're very peppery, so you can make a natural pepper from this. So then scrape the seeds out or make pepper if you want. I tried it once and I was like, wow, it's very intriguing. Like if you were all about using the whole fruit. So then same thing, get that out. I like to, a lot of times when we're making fruit displays, I'll keep that because I like the color of that with the seeds in it. It looks like caviar, it's crazy. Then with the, oh look, see I didn't do a good job there. That's okay, you can just go through it again. Then I'm gonna, with this, I'm just gonna slice it. But let's do that technique actually. Let's do a little slice off of it. And then if you have a little dog or something, give him a little treat. Now, let's try that. Oh, it's so juicy. It's almost like the garnish on the fruit by doing that little wedge. This one kind of, so the same thing, you push it. So notice that one actually kind of fell off a little bit, but that's okay. So beautiful little arrangement. We'll add that to the diced fruit. Then, let me show you an orange. So an orange is kind of interesting. So you can peel it the way you would normally peel an orange, everybody knows, but here's a cool little technique. So same thing, right? Going around. And then you can get, this is like a healthy dessert. I used to do this for my kids when they were little. I would take, so you use your knife and you cut out one section, but don't go all the way down. So just like that. And then you start here and you go and you pluck. So as you pluck, you'll be able to just pluck that membrane, or you'll be able to pull the orange out of the membrane and it'll just peel off. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you try it once, you'll be like, oh wow. And this is really cool for like grapefruit, if you like grapefruit in the morning, or you know, when oranges are in season in the wintertime, they're absolutely delicious, especially get like cara oranges, or I've done it with like blood oranges. So then you pull that out and then you can arrange it right in a little pinwheel. And you know, if somebody wants a healthy dessert, you could even do like, I don't have any now, but pomegranate seeds or something like that, and then squeeze the orange over the top, and so that's like a nice little healthy dessert that you can do. So some orange, then kiwi. Love kiwis. Let's get a ripe one. There's golden ones and normal ones. These are normal. So actually there's two ways you can do kiwi. You can do it like this, and you could do the same method. Now, it takes a little more intricate knife work to go around, but you can do it. But there's even a better way to do it. And then I like to just do slices like this, and then a lot of times I'll just put that as garnish over the top of the fruit like that. Then this is the other way that you can do it. So make sure it's one that's a little bit soft. Here's one right here. Cut it in half with the skin on. Then you use a spoon and you go in to the flesh. It'll go right inside of it, just like that. And it just, you rotate and you can see the spoon going into the flesh of the kiwi, and you just do that. And it'll stay inside. It might, maybe it'll tear on you, but usually it doesn't. Then you just pull it back like this. Okay, then you're holding the you know, the skin, and you're able to just really go down and slice and do the fruit like that. So that's another way to do it. Okay, and we'll leave that there. And then let's see, we got, what the fruit we got pears. You know, pears, most people you know, will eat it like ripe. Sometimes what I'll do is peel it and then poach it in red wine and cinnamon and vanilla. So generally I don't put this on a fruit platter because it's gonna brown. So like apples and pears I don't, but the only time I do is if I use a little bit of cinnamon and citrus. And so let me grab a little cinnamon. because this is an interesting thing, and you can like fall, winter time, it's great. So I'll take